Hello everybody, this is Misty Gaming, and welcome to the Minecolonies mod. So Minecolonies is a town builder mod in Minecraft, and this video is going to cover the basic information that you need to know, but it's going to leave room for you to explore and discover features on your own, because that's the fun in modding. And I recognize that I am saying that this is the very basics of Minecraft, or of Minecolonies, and this video is probably very long. That's because Minecolonies is a huge mod with so much to explore, but it can be very frustrating if you don't understand the basics. So that's what I'm here to help you with. I will have all the chapters in the description, so feel free to jump around where you need information, or watch the whole thing all the way through. But with that being said, let's get into some general information about the mod. Okay, so you can see that we are over here on CurseForge, which is the only place that you should be downloading Minecolonies from. It is on Modrinth, but that is only to keep the name, and it is a very old version of the mod. So if you have downloaded it from there, you need to remove that and download it from CurseForge. If you are downloading it from anywhere but CurseForge or Modrinth, you are probably downloading a virus, so please use the official sites to download it from. That being said, when you download it from CurseForge, you always want to download the top version up here. This might be different from the one that CurseForge automatically downloads for you, because Minecolonies is updating faster than CurseForge kind of allows you to release full versions. So you see how these are marked as snapshots and like alphas. You can pretty much just ignore that when you're downloading Minecolonies, because the devs are constantly releasing bug fixes, and you just always want to be on the most recent version. This also applies if you are downloading pre-made mod packs. You always want to edit the mod pack and download the latest version of Minecolonies, because it is virtually impossible for a mod pack creator to keep up with all of the Minecolonies downloads, because multiple can come out in one day. So even if you're doing a pre-made mod pack, please always download the most recent version, because it always has bug fixes. Now, with that being said, Minecolonies has a lot of dependencies, and I'm going to check all of the ones on this list that are not dependencies of Minecolonies, because that is just easier. So these three are mods that I have installed separately. So Block UI Dominium Domum Ornamentum, Minecolonies Multi-Piston Structurize, and Town Talk will all automatically download when you download Minecolonies. Now, I always recommend that you download JEI when you are playing modded or a equivalent mod, just because it makes your life so much easier. It has all of the recipes you could ever need, along with lots of helpful information. Now, Minecolonies is on Forge and neoforge. 1.20 and 1.21 are currently the only Minecolonies versions being updated and receiving support/bug fixes, but Minecolonies is available all the way down to 1.12.2. So with that being said, you need to be very careful of the add-ons you download, as many are not supported by the Minecolonies devs, and they will not be able to provide support for you if you have them installed. According to their Discord, many modify Minecolonies in a reckless way. They also say that this applies specifically to the Tweaks add-on for Minecolonies, the Compatibility add-on for Minecolonies, and the Easy Colony add-on for Minecolonies. Now, I have downloaded Style Colonies and Byzantine Style Pack for Minecolonies, and they pretty much just add style packs and are supported by the Minecolonies devs. Now, with all of that out of the way, let's go talk about colonists. Okay, so these are your citizens. This is what an example citizen will look like. I just placed down the town hall. I'm filming this all out of order. But citizens are like, these are your citizens. You want to provide the best life for them in your colony, so here's what you need to know. They have happiness levels that are affected by deaths, poor food quality. See the food section of this video for more info. Lack of sleep, being homeless or jobless, and much more. You can check out the actual inside of the town hall for more info. They also have statistics that will determine how good they are at a job and will improve or decrease these statistics depending on what job they are doing. Primary traits for a job are in green and secondary traits are in yellow. It is also important to note that colonists are really picky. They don't like working in any weather but sunny weather. So if it's raining, snowing, or anything else, they will not be working. And it's also important to note that this also applies if you are working in a desert. Now, you can get colonists two ways, either through children being born in the colony or through your tavern, which will be explained more in the getting set up section of this video. Now, we're going to discuss a little bit about building levels as I place down the builder's hut. So every building, with the exception of the tavern, has 5 building levels. The tavern only has 3, and the building levels will unlock different looks. So level 5 is like the nicest, prettiest building. It's the most upgraded building that you're gonna get. And it's important to note, as buildings level up, they don't necessarily support more workers, but instead expand on what the building is capable of doing. So if you upgrade a builder's hut to level 2, it's not going to let you have 2 builders, but it's going to let the builder build level 2 buildings, like expand the storage, and give some better, just like in general, it'll become a better builder. And if you want multiple builders or foresters or whatever, you're going to have to build multiple forester buildings or multiple builders buildings. And that's pretty much it. It's pretty basic. On to how to actually build your colony and how to actually get started in game. So now that we've covered everything you need to know before you start your colony, let's cover how to actually start a colony. So, first things first, you're going to need either a supply ship or a supply camp. This is purely up to you. They give the same thing, same resources, just a different look. A supply camp is literally 5 chests, and a supply ship is 5 boats. Now, these are like so helpful early game, not even just getting into mine colonies. Because when you place this down, it doesn't start your colony, it just gives you the resources you need to start your colony. So, for example, I'm going to do the supply camp because I am in a super flat world and there's no water. We're just going to go down here, right click. I'm going to select a style, and I am just going to do the mine colony style because I want y'all to be able to explore the different styles because there's some really awesome ones. Now I'm going to place the supply camp, and it's going to pop up this UI. Now, in front of me, this supply camp hasn't actually been placed yet because I can move it around, rotate it, flip it, move it up and down. This is pretty much like a schematic or a blueprint of what is going to be built. Now I'm going to press escape to get out of this UI so I can fly around and get a look about what I'm actually about to place in the world. And I think this is the entrance. This all looks good. So I'm going to right click this again and press this check mark to put it into the world. Now this little blue clipboard here is new in 1.21 Mine Colonies, and it pretty much shows you everything that's in the supply camp, including all the hidden goodies that you used to like have to find on your own. But I'm going to press this check mark and the supply camp is going to pop into existence. Now, if you are on an older version, it wouldn't have let you place it down until you cleared like all of the blocks in the way out. Like all of the grass couldn't be here. But unlike all of the other buildings, the supply camp and the supply ship will automatically just place into the world. And that is because they contain the build tool and the town hall. So I am just going to spend a few minutes talking about the build tool because it is what you are going to be using to place down every other building. Now up here it's going to tell you what style pack you are in. This is really important if you are doing multiple styles, which is totally something you can do. Always keep in mind what this says up here so you are placing it in the style that you want. Now I did not say this about the supply camp, but it can literally be in any style you want. It does not have to be in the style that you are planning on building your colony in. And you can do whatever you want with it. Once it's placed down, it's pretty much useless unless you want to live in it or something. But the build tool is going to look different if you are on an older version. Pretty much this very nice and neat kind of tab at the bottom is going to be replaced with a really kind of clunky thing up here. And it has all of these tabs that you can explore as you're building your colony, but we're going to go into fundamentals to place down the town hall. Now, once you place this down, your colony will start. So we get the same like little build preview thing. I'm going to get this where I want it, except we have these levels. I always like looking at the buildings at their maximum level so I know like what it's gonna look like at the end with my colony, what like the general style looks like, how big it's gonna get, because entrances and stuff tend to move. Like the level 1, this is a bad example, but on some of them the entrances, like where they actually are, can be really confusing. So the level 5, when you're placing it, is a great way to go. And this looks like it is on the right level. So I'm going to press this check mark and I'm going to press assign to builder. This only pops up if you are in creative mode. So that's going to paste it, that's going to construct it, but I'm going to assign it to a builder because that's what it would be like in survival mode. Oh, we're going to ignore the pillager outpost, but I'm going to assign this covenant and found my colony. And after you found your colony, this construction tape is going to appear, and eventually 4 colonists are going to appear. And your town border is going to appear, and you can see it with the build tool. It's all of the white lines. And if you have Journey Map installed, this will show on Journey Map. Oh look, we have our first citizen. Now that the rest of our citizens have spawned in, let's place down the builder's hut, which is what you're going to need next. So I always love that the Minecolonies build hut recipes are super simple. So it's literally just a door and some planks and the build tool, which will not be used up when you craft this. And if you lose your build tool, it's not that big of a deal. It's literally just 2 sticks and a cobblestone. So we are going to place down this build hut, and let's just fundamentals, builder's hut. We are going to place this down. Now, I want to see it at level 5. That looks super cool. Yada yada, check. Assign to builder. Now, automatically one of your citizens is going to get pulled over here and assigned as the role of builder. It's set up to be all automatic job assignments at first, but this is something that you can change in the town hall block, along with a bunch of other settings. The town hall block is pretty much your like mayor managing of the whole colony, because it doesn't actually do much. Colonists will come to the town hall if they do not have a house, so at nighttime all of these colonists will come over here. And as you can see, Holly has been assigned our builder, and you are going to want her to build her own hut. And it's important to note that the builder's hut level equates to the level that they can build up to with any other building. Because the builder, it's in the name. They build everything in your colony. I always recommend having multiple of these huts scattered around. I usually have 2 or 3 per colony. So you're just going to get her to build her own hut. You're going to like have to give her all the items at first, and eventually it'll get more automated, and I'll leave it up to you to figure out how to automate all of that. But after you get the builder's hut built, you don't necessarily have to build the town hall first. The town hall, it's really just a decorative building for the most part. It is required to be at certain levels later on, but it's not something like early game you have to rush to build. Instead, I would recommend that you build a tavern, but you're also going to need a resource scroll for the builder's hut. Well, you don't need it. It's just really helpful. It pretty much, you assign it to a builder's hut, and it shows you what they're currently working on, which is nothing for Holly, and what resources they still need. So it's super useful, especially if you're running in between your storage and here. So super helpful. But the next building I recommend you build is the tavern. It is in fundamentals, and it pretty much provides the initial housing for your citizens, and it provides visitors. So visitors will come and visit your tavern. It also only has 3 levels. But visitors will come and visit your tavern, and if you have space in your colony, you can hire them to come and live. Oh, I didn't mean to do that, but it's constructed. Woo! And it will, like the visitors, they'll come in, you can hire them, they'll come live in your colony. They have really good stats, but only if you have space. But these are pretty much the basic buildings. Okay, now really quick, we're going to run through the basic resource gathering huts. So there's the forester, it mines trees. There's the mine, it gets underground stuff. There's the farm, which farms crops, and it can have 1 field per level. So these are the fields. Usually the style will come with at least 1 built in, but if not, you place this little field block and you set it all up. Usually there's also decorations that have pre-built fields for you. Also, the mine, the higher the level the mine is, the deeper it goes. Next is kind of the animal related huts. So there's the apiary for bees, the shepherd's hut for the sheep, swineherder's hut for the pigs, cows, chickens, etc. And all of these huts can have 2 animals per level, or 2 more animals per level. And it's important to note that you have to provide at least 2 animals for these huts to work. And finally, there is the fisher's hut, which supplies fish and pretty much anything you can fish up and more. JEI is super helpful, showing you what you need from this one. Next, we're going to learn a little bit more about storage and warehouse. Okay, so next we're going to go over colony-wide storage. So the Minecolony mod adds a new block called the rack. It's pretty much just Minecolonies' version of storage. You can't add racks to huts or extra storage to a hut. You have to either upgrade it or build a warehouse, which is the central storage of a colony. The warehouse is useless, however, without the couriers. These are the colonists that run around picking things up and dropping things off from all of your buildings. It's important to note that they will not give food to your colonists. That is its own building. Like anything that the colonists need that is provided by another building, food being the primary example of that, the couriers will not give them. But they're so helpful early game. It's pretty much one of the first buildings I build after I get like a basic resource hut going. But that's pretty much it. The clipboard block will be very useful here. And the warehouse can have 2 couriers per level. But that's it on storage. We're going to move on to food, which is pretty complicated now in this mod. So Minecolonies literally just updated its food system for 1.20 plus. So it now has a food kind of leveling system where all the foods are classified into different levels of goodness, and colonists want a diverse range of foods. This update also reduced all vanilla foods to a fourth of their value for colonists. So baked potatoes are not going to be as useful as they used to be. But there are kind of three hut blocks that work together to feed your colonists. The first one you're going to want to get is the restaurant, which actually physically feeds your colonists and gives them the food. So when they're low on hunger, they're going to go hang out on the restaurant and the chef is going to give them food. Also, make sure to set up your menu and the fuel for this building. Next is the new block, the cookery, and this pretty much crafts more complex food or more complex crafting items for the restaurant to serve. So like now there's like baked salmon and yogurt and a bunch of fun foods. But like yogurt requires large milk bottles to be crafted. So this chef over here is going to do that, and then the couriers are going to come pick this up and send it to the restaurant. Finally, the bakery just cooks baked goods for your colonists. It's not necessary early game. It is kind of fun to like have muffins and cakes for your colonists though. And that's pretty much the food system in the most basic way I can explain it. It'll be really obvious in-game when your colonists are like, this food isn't good enough, and you're giving them baked potatoes and steak, and you're like, it's good enough. But that's pretty much it. We're going to move on to unlocking development and expanding your colony. Okay, so you've gotten to the point where your initial 4 colonists are employed. What next? How do you make room for more? Because the tavern can only hold 4 people. For that, you're going to need residences. And residents pretty much give your colonists a place to live. It is 1 colonist per level, so a level 5 residence can hold 5 colonists. And the residence also limits how high their statistics can reach. And you can visit the Minecolonies worker system section in their wiki for more information on that. But it's kind of important to level up your residences. Next, you're gotten to the point where there's like monsters coming to attack your colony, and maybe you've run out of space in the initial colony boundaries. That's where guard towers come in. So they will expand your colony border by a significant amount, and it provides guards to protect your colony from dangers. Hint, hint, this mod adds some more than just the vanilla creatures. The guards will not take up a housing space. Their guard tower is technically their house. Even though they will not have beds in them, they just kind of will wander around and sleep on the ground. Okay, so those are the 2 basic things, but like you've gotten to the point where you kind of want to automate stuff, and maybe you've wanted to build a building but seen, hey, this is locked behind research. This is where the university comes in. It is used to conduct research that will unlock crafting automation and higher level buildings, and just in general, better improvements for your colonists, like building speed, like crop output, that kind of fun stuff. And that is pretty much all of the specific buildings I'm going to go into, and I'm going to leave the rest of the mod for you to explore yourself, because yes, there is so much more, even though I feel like I've gone over so much. Next, I'm going to talk about some, like, where you can get more style packs, which we kind of touched on a little bit in the beginning of this video, and a resource pack I really like, so let's hop straight into that. Okay, so next we are going to go over some more styles and resource packs that you can get. So in here I have the Byzantine style, which actually adds more than just the original Byzantine style. It also adds Shogun and Nile, but they were all created by the exact same person, and these are super cool styles. They are really complicated, so I would not recommend doing them for your first colony ever. I wouldn't recommend doing any of the extra styles for your first colony ever. But the other mod is called Style Colonies. It adds just a bunch of really cool ones. Some of them need extra mods to be used, but like the steampunk one, so cool, but super hard. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And the texture pack that I like to use is called Minecolonies Refreshed, and it kind of gives it more of a vanilla feel. As you will see, it changes what the hut blocks look like, and I personally really like how it changes the hut blocks. Like that's the builder's hut, that's the tavern in there, and it also changes some of the domum ornamentum stuff to be less like rounded and more blocky, for kind of that Minecolonies or Minecraft feel. And that's pretty much all I have for you. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I know Minecolonies is a super big complicated mod, so this video is probably sitting at roughly 25 minutes. And if you have watched all the way through, please leave a like and subscribe. All the links to everything will be in the description, including the Minecolonies download and the wiki. Leave your questions in the comment section. I try to always be checking the comments on my videos. And finally, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you all have a great day.